That's the crooked cash that made him super rich. What's extraordinary is that Roman Abramovich has already confirmed some of the allegations in a UK court. He was being sued for $6 billion by his former business associate Boris Berezovsky. Roman Abramovich gave evidence about how the Sibneft auction was rigged. He also talked about that $10 million payment to the Russian general. He says it wasn't a bribe, but in court he admitted making the corrupt payment. He said,
"If I recall correctly, Mr. Berezovsky demanded that that payment be made, and he needed this in order to pass it on to Mr. Korzakov later on. Part of it was paid in hard cash, and part of it was in non-hard cash, i.e. bank transfer."
Roman Abramovich won the case in 2012, but the judge said,
"It was Mr. Abramovich's case that the lobbying activities of Mr. Berezovsky were inherently corrupt, and that the deal whereby Mr. Abramovich agreed to pay Mr. Berezovsky for his services was also corrupt."
Those admissions in court didn't do Roman Abramovich any harm in the UK, and he got away with it in Russia too. The secret document suggests that at the time of the Sibneft deal, Roman Abramovich was protected by President Yeltsin. It says documents related to Mr. Abramovich were moved from the files of the law enforcement agencies to the Kremlin. The document also says the president then stopped an investigation by Yuri Skaratov into Roman Abramovich's rigged oil deal.
Skaratov was preparing a criminal case for the confiscation of Sibneft on the basis of the investigation of its privatization. The investigation was stopped by President Yeltsin. Skaratov was dismissed from his office.
Yuri Skaratov was sacked to discredit him and his investigation.
The whole thing was obviously political, because in my investigations I came very close to the family of Boris Yeltsin, including via this investigation of the Sibneft privatization.
Roman Abramovich remained in the Kremlin inner circle when Vladimir Putin came to power. He worked as one of Putin's regional governors for 8 years. We've seen another document that suggests a darker link. It comes from a Spanish law enforcement investigation 12 years ago into Russian organized crime. It says Mr. Abramovich is thought to be Vladimir Putin's moneyman.
The oligarch Roman Abramovich is regarded as the manager of Vladimir Putin's private economic interests.
The allegation has also been made in Parliament.
David Davis. According to the Spanish National Intelligence Committee, he is the man who manages, or at least one of the men, who manages Putin's business affairs.
It's a claim we've heard repeatedly, that Vladimir Putin's wealth is linked to oligarchs like Roman Abramovich.
I think there are certain vested interests involved, and Abramovich may be sharing the wealth.
With whom?
With Putin. Putin would never, ever give away anything to anyone without having direct financial interests involved.
Mr. Abramovich's lawyers told us he denies he's been protected by President Putin or President Yeltsin, and that he denies he is a moneyman for President Putin. But business is done differently in Russia, and Roman Abramovich has profited from corrupt deals under both presidents. Take the sale in 2002 of another big Russian energy company, Slavneft. Different factions had been fighting for control of the company. There were armed raids and a bomb scare. When the Russian state decided to auction Slavneft off, Roman Abramovich formed a partnership with another firm to buy it. But representatives from a Chinese company were heading to Moscow. They were bidding almost twice as much. Vladimir Milov was the deputy energy minister in the run-up to the auction. He says senior political figures had already decided who'd win.
I said, look, but the Chinese want to come in and they want to pay a much bigger price. I say, doesn't matter, shut up. None of your business. It's already decided. Slavneft goes to Abramovich, the price is agreed, Chinese will be dragged out somehow.
From the Kremlin to the Russian parliament, there was widespread opposition to the Chinese bid. Many powerful people would lose out if the Chinese won the auction. But the Chinese didn't get to take part.
Just before...
The secret document says the Russian authorities noted some suspicious facts about the auction.
CNPC, Chinese company, a very strong competitor, had to withdraw from the auction after one of its representatives was kidnapped upon arrival at Moscow airport and was released only after the company declared its withdrawal.
The kidnapping story is backed up by independent sources. This oil industry... There's no suggestion that Roman Abramovich knew anything about the kidnapping plot or played any part in it. His lawyers told us that the kidnap claim is entirely unsubstantiated and he has no knowledge of such incident. Whatever the reason for the Chinese withdrawal, Roman Abramovich's partnership had the only bid left on the table. And they bought Slavneft at a knockdown price.
It was a pre-arranged sale. A deal between government and Abramovich, where they secretly, behind doors, agreed on the price, agreed who buys the assets, agreed that there will be no risk of competitive bids.
Is that corruption?
Absolutely corruption. Absolutely corruption. Roman Abramovich has stolen money from Russians, billions of dollars of money of Russian taxpayers.
Roman Abramovich's lawyers say there's no basis for alleging that he has amassed very substantial wealth through criminality. They say he denies being involved in corruption in the Slavneft and Sibneft deals. We spoke to a leading expert on dirty money.
This isn't people doing deals in a commercial and sensible way. It reeks of illegality.
Andrew Mitchell looked at evidence from that London court case and the secret document.
The material that I've seen suggests that the whole of the acquisition of, or the creation of the Sibneft wealth in the hands of Abramovich is as a result of corruption.
Roman Abramovich has now been sanctioned. But there are plenty like him who have been allowed to bring dirty money to the UK.
There comes a point...
And that means Roman Abramovich's secret past is finally catching up with him.